In this video, we are going to explore what fungi and protists are and examine some of the diseases that they can cause in both plants and animals, including humans. Let us begin with fungi. Fungi are eukaryotic organisms, which means that, like plants and animals, their cells contain a nucleus and other structures enclosed within membranes. However, unlike plants and animals, fungi can exist either as unicellular organisms, meaning they consist of only one cell, or as multicellular organisms, which are made up of many cells. A familiar example of a unicellular fungus is yeast, which is often used in the production of bread and alcoholic beverages. On the other hand, mushrooms are an example of a multicellular fungus. In many multicellular fungi, you will often find structures called hyphae, which are long, thin, thread-like filaments that grow and spread out from the main body of the fungus, typically through soil or plant material. These hyphae are capable of penetrating the surfaces they grow on, and in some cases, they can even invade plant tissues or human skin, which can lead to infections and disease. The hyphae can also produce spores, which are tiny, lightweight reproductive units that can easily travel through the air or water and grow into new fungi once they land in suitable environments. A common example of a fungal disease in plants is rose black spot, which causes purple or black-colored spots to appear on the leaves of rose plants, which is how it gets its name. As the fungus continues to spread and damage the plant, the leaves begin to turn yellow and fall off. This is a serious issue because it reduces the plant's ability to carry out photosynthesis, the process by which it produces its own food, and as a result, the plant grows poorly and becomes weak. The rose black spot fungus usually spreads by traveling in water droplets or by being carried on the wind. To treat this fungal disease, one method is to remove all of the infected leaves from the plant, but it is very important to destroy those leaves properly afterward so that the fungus does not have the chance to infect other plants nearby. Another option is to spray the plant with fungicides, which are chemical substances designed to kill fungi and stop their growth. Now, let us move on to protists. Just like fungi, protists are also eukaryotic organisms, and they too can be either unicellular or multicellular. However, in reality, the vast majority of protists are unicellular, meaning that they are made up of only a single cell. Some types of protists are known as parasites. This means they live either inside or on the surface of other organisms and survive by feeding off them, often causing harm in the process. Protists are often spread between hosts by something called a vector. A vector is another organism, like an insect, that carries the protist from one host to another without becoming ill itself. One well-known disease caused by a parasitic protist is malaria. Malaria is caused by a type of protist that must live inside a host such as a human or another animal in order to survive. The protist is spread by mosquitoes, which act as the disease's vector. Here's how the process works. When a mosquito bites and feeds on the blood of an animal that is already infected with malaria, it can suck up some of the parasites from the blood. Then, when that mosquito later bites another healthy animal or a person, the parasites are transferred into the new host's bloodstream. This is how the infection spreads from one individual to another. Once a person has been infected with malaria, they usually develop severe symptoms such as very high fevers, intense headaches, chills, and an overall sense of feeling extremely unwell. These symptoms often go away for a short time but then return again and again, which is why they are known as recurrent episodes. In some serious cases, especially if untreated, malaria can even result in death. The best way to prevent malaria and other diseases caused by protists is to stop the vectors from spreading them in the first place. For example, we could try to reduce the number of mosquitoes in a region by destroying areas of standing water where they breed, or by using insecticides, which are chemical sprays that kill insects. Alternatively, we can use physical protection methods like sleeping under mosquito nets or applying mosquito repellent creams or sprays to our skin to prevent mosquito bites altogether. All of these strategies are important tools in the ongoing effort to control diseases caused by both fungi and protists.